In game one of this doubleheader against the Wareham game, the Orange Fibers showed some walk-off heroics. It was a solo home run off the bat of Ray Gill that gave the Fibers a 1-0 victory. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Thompson Zarella alongside Josh White for game two of this doubleheader from Eldridge Park. Just 8 hits combined in that game one. 4 from each side, but it was the last one that made the difference. A walk-off home run from Ray Gills. As the Firebirds will send the right-hander out of Liberty, Noah Scurro, on to the hill to face off against this Wareham lineup. Again, we'll have to see if maybe the offense will show up for both sides in this game, too. So we'll take a look through the Wareham game and lineup. As Scurro face off, Braden Ward, the center fielder, leading things off. Batting second, Darren Baker playing second. Batting third, Cameron Guangarena in the DH spot. In the cleanest spot, Adrian Del Castillo, he'll be catching. Batting fifth, Jacob Teeter playing first base. In the sixth spot, Ben Sims playing short. The third baseman batting seventh, Chad Stevens. He'll be inserted into the slot here in game two. Batting eighth, Matthew Rudick playing right field. And Toro Otsuka rounding out the bottom playing left field as Bryce Elder will be on the hill for the Wareham Gatemen. But Scurro making his second appearance, second start here on Cape Cod. Native of Stony Creek, Ontario. 6'3", 225. Right-hander out of Liberty. He pitched last Sunday as well. So with Schuster and Scurro, the two doubleheader guys, as Scurro went 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 7 punch-outs. He was very sharp for pretty much the first 3 innings until he ran into some trouble in that 4th inning. The defense for the Fibers, Trani out in left field, Daniels out in center, Kokoska over in right. Murray playing third, Whitcomb at short, Zamora. Still one down, the inning banker now leading off of first. It's another left-hander in the DH, Cameron Guangarena. Guangarena grounded into 2 double plays back in that first game. A couple big spots, but he could not quite deliver. First pitch outside corner for strike 1. Rob Emery ready to throw down if need to be. As Darren Baker over at first base has some speed over there. As he takes off his batting gloves over at first. Here comes Steph from the stretch, kicks and deals towards home. As the 0-1 misses the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Emery looks over towards first base dugout. Gets the sign from Kelly Nicholson. Scurll takes a deep breath on the mound. Kicks and fires the 1-1. That's a high chopper up the middle. Fielding off a hop is Wickham, comes across the base. Throws on to first over towards Gill, and that's an inning-ending double play. As the Firebirds go unscathed after the one-out walk issued to Darren Baker. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for the game. And getting to the home half of the first inning, it's still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park. We'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Home half of the first inning from Eldridge Park. It's still a scoreless ball game, and that's pretty much how last game went as well. 1-0 victory for the Firebirds. That run came in the bottom half of the seventh inning. So Guancarena grounds out into a double play to end the top of the first. Here in the bottom of the first, lineup for the Firebirds. A little bit of a change-up. Zach Daniels playing center, leading things off. Kokoska playing right, batting second. Tanner Murray batting third, playing third. Shrani in the cleanup spot, playing left. Zamora in the 5 spot, playing second. Gill over at first base batting sixth. Danny Soretti now moved to DH here in game 2, batting 7th. Rob Emery, now the catcher, batting 8th. And Shea Whitcomb moving over to shortstop. He'll be batting 9th. As they'll face Bryce Elder. Right-handed pitcher on the mound. First pitch. This is inside to Zach Daniels for ball 1. Elder guy out of Texas. Pitched 83 innings this year. 2.93 ERA. Started 13 games. 1-0 pitch to Daniels. Outside edge for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on the center fielder Daniels. Working quickly as Elder is the 1-1 pitch to Daniels, but goes to the off-speed pitch, cut on a miss for strike 2. Daniels a guy that's really starting to put things together here on Cape Cod. May not show in the box score, but line one out to straightaway center last game. Lined out to center. As the 1-2 pitch, curveball in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Del Castillo. Count 2-2. Daniels steps out for a second, steps in towards the back end of the right side. 2-2 pitch to Daniels, just getting a piece of it, fouls it back to the screen. As he'll live to see another pitch. Elder gets aside, kicks and fires as the 0-2 pitch sails over the head of the catcher Del Castillo. So it's interesting now, in both game 1 and now game 2, a Wareham pitcher has just tossed one over the catcher.
And then they looked practically flawless from there on out.
And the 3-2 pitch is cut on a miss, just getting a piece of the pitch was Daniels. So he's put up a great at-bat here to start off the bottom of the first. Be pitch number 7 coming up. And the 3-2. Daniels hits one on the left side of the infield, scooped up by Stevens. Sets his feet, throws across the diamond, and Daniels is retired for out number 1.
And it's interesting to see. We've seen Zach Daniels all summer long in the 9th spot, and he's got a lot of pop from the right side. Very toolsy player, and it's interesting to see him get a nod at the top of the lineup for Orleans.
Zach Kokoska, the man playing right today. He's been in the 2 spot for most of this year. First pitch he sees at the belt. Fastball at the belt for strike 1. Kokoska did not record a hit last game, but he's definitely been one of the Firebirds really start to put things together as he sends one the other way on the ground, but this one foul down the third base side. Just past the coach's box. Count is no balls and 2 strikes on Kokoska. Steps out, holds his hand back to the home plate umpire, Rich Tanning. As the 0-2 pitch to Kokoska, curveball skips into the dirt. Kokoska able to lay off. Here in the bottom of the first inning, still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park. Nobody on, 1 out here. As Elder works from the windup. The 1-1 to Kokoska. As looks like it hits him on the back foot there, and Kokoska will take a jog over to first base.
Yeah, and Zach Kokoska has really started to figure things out in week number 2 on the Cape. Looked a little uncomfortable in the first week, but is finding different ways to get on base, it seems, in every other game. I believe he leads Orleans now in hit by pitches with 3 or 4 this summer.
So now in the 3 spot, Tanner Murray, the third baseman. 1 foot in, 1 foot out to start out. First pitch swinging, cut on and miss for strike 1. As Kokoska's over at first base, Murray. Okay, this is what the Firebirds need to do so far. They need to collect hits together. Something we've seen so far. They'll get a lot of 2-out hits, but not be able to put them all together as the 0-1 pitch has popped up and out of play on the first base side, 0-2. Murray so far batting a .194 for 21. One of those 4 hits was a long ball. Shortstop moved over to third so far as he sends it on the ground towards shortstop third. Sems flips it on to second base. Baker in midair over to first. Almost catching Tanner Murray. Acrobatic play by Darren Baker over at second base. Throwing while midair. A strong throw as well as Murray just beats it out.
If Darren Baker was somehow able to turn that double play, that would have been SportsCenter Top 10 tomorrow morning. That was a heck of a turn by Baker. Avoided the slide. Still made a strong throw over to first base, but Murray just too quick out of the box.
So Max Trani, the left fielder, will have a crack with 2 down. Throw over to first base as Murray slides back in safely. Darren Baker showing on the athleticism over at second base on that last play. As the right-hander Elder looks over his shoulder over to first base. Pauses for a long time. And Trani finally calls time. Trani recorded one of the 3 hits for the Firebirds last game. That was also back in the first inning. Got the Firebirds on the board of the hit column. Trani cut on a miss. First pitch he sees down in the zone for strike 1. Johnny bangs the bat against his right cleat as he'll step into the right-hander's batter's box. Elder will take another look, throws over to first base. Just getting back in safely is Murray. Elder takes his time, steps off, wipes his face. Elder guy that features quite an arsenal. 2-seam fastball, cutter, curveball, and a changeup. A throw to first base. Just to back in again safely is Tanner Murray. The Wareham bench down there thought they had him over at first. Couple close calls. As the 0-1 pitch, cut on a miss, pitch in the dirt. Count is no balls in, 2 strikes on the left fielder out of Bentley. Trani not only leads the Firebirds in average, but also in total bases. As the 0-2 pitch curveball just doesn't come down quite enough. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and there's a chance after today that Max Trani could lead the league in hitting and lead the lead in hits through the first 10 games.
1-2 pitch to Trani. He bounces one off home plate and back our way. We're behind the dish. Count remains 1-2.
We'd probably have about 4 or 5 foul balls today if there was no net in front of our face. None of them would have hit our heads, surprisingly. No hot shots, but a couple ground balls.
But watch out for the top spin on that second hop as well. As the 1-2 pitch to Trani, he sends a squibber down the third base side. Scooped up by the third baseman. Stevens throws on the run, and Trani beats it over at first base. An infield single for Max Trani, and the singles machine man goes on.
His second single of the day. His 12th single of the summer. 12 of his 13 hits have been singles.
And the one hit that was not a single was bounced down the line. It was lined down the line for a double. So the Firebirds have 2 men on with 2 out here, the top of the first. Here's Josh Zamora, the second baseman. Elder trying to work out of some early troubles here. Elder kicks in, fires to the right-hander Zamora. Off-speed pitch, cut on and miss for strike 1. Elder Dodds gets the sign from the catcher, Del Castillo. Looks back towards second, fires towards home. Here's another ground ball, this time a 2-hopper over towards the third baseman. Stevens sets his body and throws to retire Josh Zamora. So the Firebirds had an opportunity, couldn't quite cash in. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, but 2 men left on base for the Firebirds. We've played 1 inning here from Eldridge Park. We'll step aside. We'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Top of the second inning from Eldridge Park. Still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge. As Nowaskura looks to retire the game in order. They're in inning number 2 of work. Just 10 pitches in that first inning. That's all Skuro needed. The game in so far really liked to swing early and often in the count. So Del Castillo, the catcher for Miami, will start things off. Teeter and Sims, the other 2 gamemen, due up in this inning. First pitch to the left-handed catcher. Pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. We saw Skuro feature that curveball in that first pitch. Can really throw that for a strike back in Bourne last Sunday. So it commanded through the first couple innings. As the 1-0 pitch is laced down left field line for a base hit. As Trani bare hands it off, a 1-hop throws it back in. And the gateman, a man aboard here to lead things off in the top of the second.
Yeah, that's Adrian Del Castillo for you. Just finds a way to get on base. Did so at Miami at a very high clip. Had a ground ball in the first game that just got to the right side. Flares one into left now, and now can have a couple words with his good buddy over at first base, Ray Gill.
Ray Gill, the man that hit the walk-off home run in game 1. Now Jacob Teeter, the first baseman. Skuro comes set, kicks and fires. Good-looking fastball outside edge for strike 1.
I was chatting with Del pregame, beg your pardon, before the first game of the doubleheader. Gill came over. They just were having fun, joking around, and I'm sure they're happy to see each other.
That's what baseball's all about. 0-1 pitch comes up and in. Teeter thought about it, but holds up the swing. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on Teeter. Steps out for a second. come back into the left-hander's batter's box. Del Castillo leading off at first. Skirl kicks and fires, running towards second, but just getting a piece of it and bounces it towards the Orleans dugout. Is Teeter. So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count now. Teeter coming into this game hitting .231, 4 for 26. As the 1-2 pitch, high chopper to the first baseman, Gills. Flicks on to second base, back over to first. This one gets past the first baseman. And it looks like we'll head down to the dugout area. So Teeter will head over towards second base as Gill flipped on to second, but the throw over to first base was wide left. So the gatemen have a man on with 1 down here.
Was that a Miami reference because it went past a Hurricanes first baseman?
Was a little bit.
Unintentional.
Unintentional. Wide left, wide right. So Ben Sims, the shortstop, who was slated to start last game, but then didn't even get an AB, but was subbed out. So maybe Weinstein want to shift some things around here. So Skirl fires towards zone, first pitch. Fastball misses down the zone for ball 1. So an error will go against Shea Whipcomb as he tried to turn 2. So Teeter leading off at second base. It's Sims, the shortstop, out of Kansas. He'll wave the bat over towards the pitcher, Skirl, a couple times. Brings the bat back in the stance. Teeter standing off at first, the 1-0. Pitch outside edge for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Sims. Sims, the junior from Chesterfield, Missouri. Hit .305 this year for the Jayhawks out of the Big 12. As the 1-1 pitch is lined hard up the middle towards the shortstop, Whitcomb comes across the base. Throw on to first, and Sims is retired as Teeter advances over to third base on the throw. So the gameman will have a man on third with 2 down. Here in the top of the second inning. Still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park. Now it's up to Chad Stevens. A sophomore from the University of Portland. The West Coast Conference. The second team. All WCC honorees. He'll swing at the first pitch. Cut on and miss for strike 1. Was drafted by the Padres in the 2017 draft, as he'll glance over towards manager Jerry Weinstein here on the on-deck circle. Teeter over at third base, 0-1 to Stevens. Cut on miss for count is 0-2. Skirl trying to work out of a jam here on the top of the second inning after a leadoff single by Del Castillo. Fielder's choice with an error, and Teeter advances to third on the last ground out by Ben Sims. 0-2 pitch, and the dirt good block by the catcher Emery. As scampering back towards third base is Teeter. So 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. As Stevens looks to draw first blood here for the Wareham Gatemen. As they try to take game 2 of this doubleheader after falling to the Firebirds 1-0 in the first game. 1-2 pitch, slices with that one over the Orleans dugout off the fence above. Still to do it again at 1-2. It's been a beautiful day here on Cape Cod. The sun continues to shine as we get later in the afternoon. 5:30 is the time now. Skirl some set, kicks and deals. 1-2 curveball. Misses low and outside. Stevens evens the count back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wind blowing in from straightaway center. There's a 2-2 from Skirl. Stevens fouls it off once again. Putting up a good fight here with 2 outs in this inning. Trying to score the first run for the Gatemen. Skirl comes set from the belt. The 1-2-2 pitch. This one's lined in the air over towards the third baseman. High throw over towards first base. Does Gill keep the foot on? He does. Rory fielded on the ground, throw to first base, but Gill, using all the length he has over there, and the Gatemen are unable to score a run there as leave a man over at third base, so no runs on one hit, one error, and one left on base for the Gatemen after 1.5. Still scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park. We'll step aside, listen to Fibers Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Bottom of the second inning from Eldridge Park, still a scoreless ball game. As the Fibers look to get on the board first, and no man better than Ray Gill, the first baseman out of Miami, making a nice stretch over at first base to end the top of the second. First pitch he sees, off-speed pitch cut on a miss for strike one. Now, as you mentioned before, Del Castillo was leading off at first base, and Gill the first baseman. Now it's the opposite as Gill is at the dish, and Del Castillo's behind the plate as the 0-1 to pitch lines it now hard out towards right field. Coming in is the right fielder Rudick, and will make the grab on the run. So another hard hit ball for the Fibers. They're just not dropping. Going back to last game, another line out for the Birds here. So 1 up, 1 down to start things off in the bottom of the second inning. It's Daniel Soretti making now his starting his second game on the Cape. The DH out of UNC. First pitch fastball catches the latter part of the zone. Bryce Elder, a guy that really likes to pound the zone as well. 0-1 to pitch to Soretti. That one's fouled at the plate. Count is 0-2. Back at Texas this year, so far on his Cape, I should say, through 2 games started. He's thrown a first pitch strike 63% of the time. He's worked through 5 2/3 so far in 2 starts, with a 4.76 ERA. 0-2 pitch. That one's a trickler up the first base side. 1 hop towards Teeter. He'll toss it towards the pitcher Elder, and he'll step on the base for out number 2. So far, we've seen a similar game to game 1. Not a lot of base runners, not a lot of opportunities, and just a pitcher's duel once again. Obviously, it's only through almost 2 innings, but here in the home half of the second inning, Rob Emery tries to jumpstart this Firebirds offense. He fouls one off the catcher, Del Castillo, for strike 1. 2 outs in the inning, still scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park. Emery is third on the team in average. He hits .250 on the air as he'll foul it off a weak ground ball towards the third base dugout of Wareham. Count 0-2.
I think that last sentence you just said tells you everything you need to know about Cape Cod baseball in June.
0-2 pitch bounces in, 1 ball and 2 strikes to count.
You said Rob Emery is third on this Orleans team, batting .250. That tells you everything you need to know about what Cape Cod Baseball League play looks like the first couple of weeks.
Averages in ERA are low and high as the 1-2 pitch. Swing on the dirt as Emery. He'll run over towards first base as Del Castillo will take care of the dirty laundry. So 3 up, 3 down here in the second inning as Elder looks sharp after 2. So it's still a scoreless ball game. Listen to Fibers Baseball from the Birds Broadcast Network. Top of the third inning, Noah Skuro looks to retire the game in an order once more. As he's pitched 2 scoreless innings so far for the Fibers, just 1 hit allowed so far, 1 walk and no strikeouts. We'll have to face the 8-9 one-hitters, Rudik Otsuka and Braden Ward, here in this third inning of work. Noah Skuro sporting the Brian Wilson type esque beard. Except red hair, not black, but always love when a pitcher is getting amped up, especially with a beard. As the first pitch at the letters for strike 1 on Rudik, the right fielder. Rudik had 1 of the 4 hits for the game in game 1. A 1 pitch, just missing low and outside for ball 1. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Rudik. Was able to chase down Ray Gill's line drive in the bottom half of last inning as the 1-1 curveball bounced right past the pitcher. Skuro over towards the second baseman. Zamora fields it on a hop, takes a step or 2 on the first, and Rudik is retired. So with 1 down here in the top of the third inning, still a scoreless ball game. It's Tora Otsuka, the left fielder. Otsuka, hometown of Rancho Bernardo, California, plays for the University of San Diego. As he'll do battle from the left side against the right-hander Skuro. Off-speed pitch at the letters for strike 1 on Otsuka. He'll be playing left field. Did not get the start in game 1, but he did play in the first meeting that these two teams faced off back in Wareham. Skuro from the windup. Kicks and fires the 0-1. Otsuka slaps it the other way, just over the cars driving down on Route 28. There was 1 ball in that first game that went high in the air and bounced off the road, but no cars. I'm telling you, it's going to happen 1 time this year. It's going to hit a car.
You've been very adamant that it's going to happen.
I just have a feeling. Could be this game, we don't know. Skuro works the 0-2 to Otsuka. Slaps it on the 1 hop. Over towards the shortstop, Wickham fields it. Strong throw to first base across the diamond towards Gill when Otsuka was retired.
Thomas, I thought of a way we can make it happen. We park your car in the middle of the night when no one's on Route 28. You let me go up and bat, and I'll be late on every pitch, and I'll just foul a bunch of balls off. How's that sound?
Well, then we'll call you the foul ball machine.
Like Max Girardi's the singles machine. Okay. That's fine. At least you didn't say right bench or left bench. That's an improvement.
And again, who's pitching? Could be throwing soft toss in there to you. First pitch to Ward. Check swing over towards the third base umpire. Does not go around.
Well, if it's anything like our first pitches, I think it was Scotty threw the hardest ball by anyone. We don't even want to talk about mine. That's just a forgotten thing at this point.
1-0 pitch. Ward laces it out towards the left center field gap. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Daniel scoops it up, throws it back in over towards Zamora at second base. Is losing the helmet over there is Ward. Interesting over there, Ward has his ball cap underneath his batting helmet. You don't see that very often.
No, not anymore. That's kind of like a Little League thing that used to happen time and time again. But, hey, everyone's kind of different, and Ward's sporting it. It works for him, man.
Maybe the helmet could be too big for him, too. That could be another thing. As it's now Darren Baker, the second baseman. He worked a walk back in the first. Right-hander Skuro throws a left-hander Baker. Fastball runs up and out of the zone for ball 1. 2 outs here in the top of the third inning from Eldridge Park. Still knotted up at 0. Skuro comes set from the belt. Will turn over towards first base to check on Ward. He's back in standing. Braden Ward sitting 5'10" over first base. The coach in the as Skuro steps off over towards second, and it gets past the shortstop, receiving second baseman Zamora, and sliding into third base is Ward, as Ward was running over towards second base, and Skuro stepped off through on. But now over at third base is Ward. He takes 2 bags in that one play.
And shocker, Ward lost his helmet again. He's running so quick, he's lost the cap a couple times today, just puts the hat back on forwards, gets the batting helmet to put it on, and he did this in game 1 too. Stole second, stole third, and he's manufactured or trying to manufacture the Gateman's first run of the ball game.
Get that, he's had 2 stolen bases in game 1 of the third inning. Here in game 2, he has 2 stolen bases as well. As the 1-0 pitch is popped up and out of play over Route 28. Count 1 ball and 1 strike.
I don't know officially if that'll go down as 2 stolen bases. Probably a stolen base and then advances on an error.
One ball, 1 strike to count. Skuro steps off, steps back on the rubber now. Will get his sign, comes set. The 1-1. This one just getting a piece of it as Baker as it trickles back to the screen. Skuro's ahead in the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and there's a big batter right here. If Skuro can try and keep Wareham off the board, extend this stretch for Orleans. This pitching staff has been great all season, but especially against the Gatemen. They haven't done too much, but they've just done a lot of strikes and have gotten ahead.
1-2 pitch. Baker cut on a miss. He gets tied up, and that's how the Firebirds get out of the top of the third inning here. Wareham game it once more. We're threatening as leave another runner over at third base for the second time in this game. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base. After 2.5, it's still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park. We'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
That's what we need.
Bottom of the third inning from Eldridge Park. Still scoreless ball game as the Firebirds look to get a couple base runners here in this half of the inning. Whitcomb, and then the top of the order comes back around. Whitcomb getting the start and shortstop in game 2. Off-speed pitch from Elder misses upstairs for ball 1. There's a 1-0 pitch. Whitcomb sends one high in the air towards left field, towards the scoreboard. It's gone. And the Firebirds are back on the board here in game 2. We can call this Firebirds team a solo home run machine because that's all they do too. As Whitcomb puts the Firebirds on the board here early, 1-0 lead.
Yeah, you talk about these home runs, and it just keeps coming left and right for this Orleans lineup. They don't have too much offensively otherwise, but Jamie Quinn has the home run swingings going.
First pitch to Zach Daniels, catches the inside corner for strike 1. The Firebirds now lead 1-0 as the 0-1 pitch cut on and missed by Daniels. Pitch down to the zone, count 0-2. Firebirds have as a team now have 8 home runs on the season. As the 0-2 pitch to Daniels, off-speed pitch in the dirt, cut on a miss as Del Castillo scoops in the dirt and will tag Daniels for the first out. So Daniels goes down swinging. It's now Zach Kokosko, the right fielder from Kansas State. Will take his time to wander into the left-hander's batter's box to face the right-hander Elder. Works from the windup. First pitch to Kokoska. He pops one up high in the infield towards the left side. Giving a look down there is Stevens over the third baseman. This one just getting over the netting and the fence over there. That's Kokoska. We'll have another shot here. Kokoska takes a deep breath. As he'll step back in. 0-1. Pitch runs up and inside of Kokoska as he's brushed off the plate a little bit. Count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. Elder working quickly as the 1-1 pitch. This one's a one-hopper over towards the second baseman. Baker corrals it. Sidearm toss to first base towards T to retires Kokoska. As that ball looks like it hit off the edge of the barrel.
And you got to give Kelly Nicholson a lot of credit of all of this. He makes a couple changes for game 2, gives David Avidia the catcher off, puts in Rob Emery, has Shea Whitcomb come into the ball game to play shortstop, and of course that's the guy who hits the home run. It's just, maybe it's luck of the draw, but Kelly's pushing the right buttons.
For sure, pushing the right buttons at the right time. As first pitch to Tanner Murray cut on a miss for strike 1. Murray ground to fielder's choice in his first AB. Has made a couple nice defensive plays for the Firebirds here this year. 0-1 pitched once more to Murray. Good looking curveball there on the outside corner for strike 2. 0-2 on the third baseman. So far, Elder 29 strikes, 8 balls. Really pounding the zone early. 0-2 pitch from Elder. Misses low one outside. Count 1-2 on Murray. As Murray waves the maple-colored bat towards Elder. The 1-2 pitch reaching forward is Murray. Could not get a piece of it. He'll go down swinging. So after the home run by Whitcomb, Elder settles down, retires the next 3 Fibers, but the Fibers have the lead here after 3. One run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Fibers, again, they lead 1-0 over the Wareham game. As our silent reporter Scotty Gaines is searching for Kelly Nicholson to see if he can have a chance to see what his thoughts are on the first 3 innings of play here at Eldridge Park in Game 2 of this doubleheader.
Skip's like a grandmaster of chess, if you will. He's always ahead to the next step. He's already looking at the 4th inning, the next pitcher coming into the ball game, just thinking about what's to come next. And Skip is going to make his way up and chat with Scott. He was 1 step ahead already. He was thinking past it.
He was 1 step ahead for sure, so we'll send over to our silent reporter, Scotty Gaines, for some more. Scotty?
Hey, thanks, guys. Coach, a lot of pitchers could have folded and at least kind of pitched around a guy like Baker with 2 outs and a runner on third, one of the hottest hitters in the Cape. What does that tell you about Noah Scurro?
He's got good stuff, and he's confident out there, so I think that's what it says about him.
Yeah, he really attacked guys. 3 innings, no earned runs, and I know you said you're capping it off there. Lots of relievers coming up next. Who are we expecting to see in the remainder of today's game?
We have Pellerin and McCarville and Garcia and Pramel, so you're going to see all of them today.
Ahead off the scoreboard, were you happy to hear that noise or a little scared off the scoreboard?
I was hoping to knock it down.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way. Guys, we're going to send it back to you.
And thank you, Scotty. You heard there first from our side reporter, Scotty Gaines, and the skipper for the Orleans Firebirds, Kelly Nicholson, as Whitcomb's home run clinks off the brand new scoreboard here at Eldridge Park. As that's the danger of having it over there. As there will be a new pitcher on the mound for the Orleans Firebirds. As it will be Connor Pellerin out of Tulane University, one of the Green Wave. As he's the first man out of the bullpen for Kelly Nicholson. Making his 3rd appearance of the summer. Pitched back on June 12th at Brewster. Then back on the 19th over at Hyannis in that 4-0 win last Wednesday. Pitching in the 3rd, 2 strikeouts, did not allow a hit. So far, in an inning and 2/3, he hasn't allowed a hit. So Scurro leaves the game for the Firebirds. Pitched 3 scoreless innings, 2 hits, no runs, 0 earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. As he will have to face off against the heart of the game in order. 3-4-5 hitters. Juan Garena, the DH, will start things off. He grounded to a double play in his first debut back in the first. Juan Garena will work from the left side. Bellar works from the stretch. First pitch, fastball couches the outside black. First strike, one. Juan Garena just finished his freshman season at Cal State Fullerton. Models his game after Yadier Molina and Corey Seager. Of course, a West Coast guy from California. Corey Seager with the Dodgers. 0-1 pitch. Off speed, 0-2 now from Bellerin. Juan Garena hit .261 for the Titans this year. As the 0-2 pitch, fastball runs off the plate. Count is 1-2 strikes. As Bellerin glances into the catcher, Emery. 1-2 pitch from Bellerin. Curveball ties him up. Strike three call. As open umpire punches Juan Garena out, and Bellerin records a punch out to start out the top of the fourth inning.
It's now 14 1/3 consecutive scoreless frames for this Orleans pitching staff. They have looked dialed in all summer long and leading this Orleans team towards the top of the East Division.
Adrian Del Castillo takes a healthy cut on a fastball, elevated up in the zone. Cut on a miss for strike one. That scoreless streak going back to the YD game here at Eldridge Park through the thick fog and everything else. 0-1 pitch misses down and in on Del Castillo. 1 strike. Del Castillo singled back in the second inning. He is one of the two hits for the game in today is 1-1 pitch. Cut on a miss at a pitch in the dirt. As Bellerin's ahead of the count. 1-2 strikes. Here in the top of the fourth inning. 1-0 Firebirds lead over the Wareham Gatemen. Bellerin comes set, kicks and deals. 1-2 pitched fastball, cut on a miss for strike three. Back-to-back strikeouts from Bellerin. And he's got his stuff cooking so far for the Firebirds.
Yeah, Connor Bellerin, shy of that first rocky outing. He's been lights out of the bullpen for Kelly Nicholson. Pretty much everyone Kelly has gone to out of the pen has been great. Just pounds the strike zone just like everyone else. Not overpowering, but keeps hitters off balance with really a three-pitch mix.
Now it's Jacob Teeter, the first baseman. It's up to him to try to prolong this fourth inning. Curveball misses down in the zone for ball one. Teeter reached on E6 back in the first inning after the Firebirds try to turn a double play. Throw got away from the first baseman. 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses down and in. Teeter ahead, 2-0. Teeter so far this year hitting .250 for the Gatemen. Of course, as you mentioned in the first broadcast, this is the best hitting team on the Cape. As a 2-0 pitch, fastball cut on a miss for strike one, 2-1. That's what makes it even more extraordinary about this scoreless streak for the Firebirds. Obviously only a 7-inning game last time and only through 3 2/3 here, but they're facing the best offensive team on the Cape, and they've been handling them pretty well here in this game to the doubleheader. As the 2-1 pitch bounced right back up the middle to center field for a base hit. It reaches Zach Daniels. And Tears aboard now with 2 down here in the fourth.
I've got an update, too, of that scoreless streak. It's now 15 1/3. They picked up 2 outs in that fifth inning as well without giving up a run. So this Orleans team dating back to the middle of that fifth inning, 15 1/3 of scoreless baseball. And they're second in the Cape in ERA. They're second in batting average against. They're first in shutouts. This has been one of the best teams in the Cape so far this summer with pitching.
So Bellerin trying to work off a 2-out single as Sims lines went on the ground, fouled down the third base side. Just wide of third base coach's box. So Teeter leading off at first base with 2 down here in the top of the fourth. 1-0 Firebirds lead. It was the Shea Whitcomb home run back in the bottom of the third inning that gave the Firebirds the lead. Sims, the shortstop from Kansas. Pellerin nods twice, kicks, and fires towards home. 1 pitch. This is upstairs for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count. Sims hitting .368 this year for the game in just 19 ABs, though. Pellerin kicks and fires towards home as the 1-1 pitch misses down and in. Count 2-1. Sims ground out to shortstop back in the second inning as the Gatemen try to knot things up here in the fourth. Wind now blowing out towards left field a little bit. As Pellerin deals towards home. 2-1 fastball. Just can't quite come back into the zone. 3-1 the count. So Skuro pitched 3 scoreless, and now it's up to the bullpen to try to preserve this lead. Pellerin has gotten first 2 outs so far as 3-1 pitch has popped up and out of play over Route 28. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 down here in the top of the fourth. The runner Teeter will be running on the pitch.
Thomas is part of this deal that Kelly's doing with just rotating pitchers in and out, and the purpose is to get guys in because not a lot of guys have pitched in the last week, but keeps the opposing teams really off balance when you're going from one guy to the next just like that.
The payoff pitch to Sims. Fastball misses upstairs, and ball 4 worked by Sims. And now the Gatemen have 2 men on with 2 out here in the top of the fourth. And going back to the last point, you really can't learn much from batter to batter because each pitcher is different. From maybe the delivery to the type of pitches they throw.
Not just that, usually you see pitchers tire out the 3rd time around the order. There's only 1 time around the order, usually maybe an extra hitter or 2. So the way that Kelly's used his pitching staff today, it makes it hard for the opposing teams really to get a good look at the guy.
So Teeter off a second base, Sims over at first. It's Chad Stevens, the third baseman. Off-speed pitch, he goes fishing down out of the zone for strike 1. Stevens also another ground-out victim back in the second inning. Nice backhanded play by the third baseman Murray to end the second inning. Pellerin comes set. 0-1 pitch to Stevens, a half-hearted swing. Pitch on the outside corner anyway, 0-2 on Stevens. So Pellerin searching for his 3rd strikeout. They're trying to strike out the side here in the 4th. Runners on first and second here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. 1-0 Firebirds lead. Pellerin sets, kicks, and deals. Curveball just misses a bit upstairs. Awfully good-looking pitch there by Pellerin. He'll take a walk around the mound.
Stevens looked back, thought it might have been strike 3. Just he kind of held his breath for a sec. Hey, did I just strike out? He was okay.
Pellerin once more. The 1-2. Breaking ball just getting a piece of it with Stevens. As Emery could not quite hold on. So they'll do it again with 1 ball and 2 strikes as Stevens tries to drive in the tying run here, which is over at second base. Pellerin, the 1-2. Fastball just misses the outside edge. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, only 7-inning games here in the doubleheaders. So every chance you get, you have to cash in. Pellerin, the 2-2 towards home. Curveball just misses outside corner. Stevens, keen eye at the plate, works the count to full. Stevens, 6 RBIs on the season for the Gatemen. Has an opportunity here. Tie with Braden Ward for the team lead. The 3-2 pitch. Misses down to the zone. Ball 4. And now the catcher, Rob Emery, will take a walk out towards the pitcher's mound to have a chat with the right-hander from Tulane. As now Kelly Nicholson will make a walk out towards the pitcher's mound. Looks towards the bullpen. He'll single in a new pitcher to enter into this game. So we'll step aside here in the top of the 4th inning. Bases are juiced with 2 outs in the inning. It's a 1-0 Firebirds lead. We'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Back inside Eldridge Park here in the top of the 4th. 2 outs, but the bases are loaded, so Connor Pellerin is responsible for all 3 base runners on base right now as Kel Nicholson returned to the right-handed pitcher Dawson McCarville, played last year at Glendale Community College, committed to Grand Canyon University. So right-hander has some work to do, just needs to record 1 out here. He'll face the right fielder Matthew Rudick. The 8-hole hitter. He grounded out back in the 3rd inning. RBI opportunity here with the go-ahead run over at second base. McCarville wipes off his forehead with his arm. So the right-handed pitcher will face the left-handed bat and Rudick. First pitch in. Fastball runs inside for ball 1. Back at Glendale Community College this year. 14 appearances, 3 games started. Went 5-2, 82 1/3 innings. Worked by McCarville. .06 ERA with 60 punch-outs. McCarville kicks and fires once again as the 1-0 pitch hit a squibber on the third baseman. Murray dives, throw across the diamond in time, and retires Matt Rudick. So just like that, the Firebirds are able to work their way out of a jam here. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, but 3 men left on base as the gatemen leave the bases juiced. The Firebirds stole the 1-0 lead after 3.5. But before we let you go, we're playing a new game with our sound reporter, Scotty Gange. It's called Find Scotty Around the Yard. Scotty, give us a hint.
Thomas, you definitely just made that name up. I was thinking like Seeking Scott, not Find Scotty Around the Yard. We'll talk about it later. Okay, here's today's riddle. You've got to find where I am. Bryce, our producer, you're on the camera, and you guys have to listen and tell him what the riddle is. Here it is. I am not in pain, but I am only where the big hurt has been before. Again, I am not in pain, but I am only where the big hurt has been before.
That is a great.
Do we have any ideas, gang?
That's a great clue. Way too obvious, to be honest with you.
Way too obvious.
You are dead central, 434. I think you're hiding behind a rock, but I'm not sure. It looks like I
am not in pain, but I'm only where the big hurt has been before.
So for those listeners,
Thomas, what are we thinking? Can we find me? I can't see. You got to let me know if you found me.
We have found you.
Yeah, we know where you are.
You're a little blurry, but I think we found
we know where you are. Dead central.
Dead central, beyond the 434 mark, where only Frank Thomas has hit a home run back in 1988.
Frank Thomas.
Did I win?
No, we found you. I forgot. We didn't communicate that to you. We communicated that to the listeners and the viewers. We apologize.
You got to let me know if you found me.
We apologize. You're exactly where Frank Thomas hit his ball. More
Exactly.
than 134 feet in 1988 to dead central.
1988, Frank Thomas, urban legend. He's the only one that hit it over this fence right here. It's the history lesson in the first edition. I'm going to scratch that name you gave it, Thomas. It's Seeking Scott. Every single game after the fourth. Oh, let's have a great day, you guys. Thanks for finding me and for finally letting me know. Come on.
Middle of the fourth, Scotty. Come on,
We'll
man.
get better at it.
We've got some things to work out.
He's going to give us tougher questions as well, that's for sure. That was a pretty easy one. To start things off here at Eldridge Park as the gateman will send a new pitcher to the hill here. As it has been the Shea Whitcomb home run that has put the Firebirds ahead here. Now heading into the bottom half of the fourth inning. The gatemen leave 3 men on in that top half of this inning. With Steven Sims and Teeter all left on base, but Connor Pellerman worked 2 strikeouts, got in some trouble, but McCarville able to work it out. So Max Trani, the left fielder, will lead things off here for the Firebirds as they try to extend their lead here in the fourth. First pitch to Triani, pitch outside corner for strike 1. Triani singled back in the first here. As the 0-1 pitch loops one out towards shallow center field. Ward coming in a couple of steps on the run will make the catch, and Triani is retired for the first out. So the new pitcher on the mound is Trent Palmer out of Jacksonville, native of Andover, Minnesota. The right-hander, 6'2", 220. As Palmer fires a first pitch fastball in there for strike 1 on Josh Zamora. Palmer making his second appearance in the Cape League season. Pitched back on June 16th against Chatham. Pitched 2 1/3 innings, so we might see some long relief here. As the 0-1 pitch misses for ball 1 to count as 1 ball and 1 strike. As Palmer has an interesting wind-up as the 1-1 pitch hit hard on the hole towards the left side, backhanded by Sims, throws across the diamond. Spectacular play by Sims over there, the shortstop out of Kansas, showcasing the arm over there in the hole.
Wow. That was a very impressive play. We've seen some good defense in this doubleheader so far, and really just a lot of strong arms being showcased to the scouts today.
That is wide as the Cape Cod Baseball League. Some of the best around the country come here. Flock to Massachusetts as the first pitch to Ray Gill, outside edge. The fastball is located. It's in there for strike 1. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 1-0 Firebirds lead. Nobody on as Gill tries to jump start the Firebirds offense. He rips one down the line. Fair ball down the third base line. Heading down the line as Gill takes a turnaround first base. Heading in towards second. No throw as he'll stand up at second base. Ray Gill almost lost the helmet on the way around first base as well. So it's a theme today that guys are just flying so fast they're losing their batting helmets.
Shea and Ray getting the Birds a victory in Game 2 of this doubleheader. We'll figure out the rest of the rhyme, but that's really been the story today is offensively, those have been the pieces that have given Orleans a jump start on the offensive side.
The Shea and Ray fireworks show. That is it.
Oh, okay.
Danny Soretti steps in the left side. Fastball at the knees for strike 1. Firebirds look to tack on an insurance run here with 2 outs. The bottom of the fourth. Gill leading off at second base. Palmer looks back twice, kicks and fires towards home. As a high chopper went towards the second baseman, Baker fields it. Sidearm throw across his body on the run, but tires Soretti for out number 3. So the Firebirds, no run on 1 hit, no error, 1 left on base. 4 complete here from Eldridge Park. It's a 1-0 Firebirds lead. We'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Top of the fifth inning from Eldridge Park as the Firebirds cling to a 1-0 lead. As we 9-1 two-hitters for the Gatemen due up as the Firebirds look to try to keep the bats at bay for the Gatemen. McCarville back on the bump. It took 2 pitches to retire. Matt Rudek who grounded out to the third baseman Murray. First pitch to Toro Otsuka misses down in the zone for ball 1. Otsuka, a ground out victim back in the third. Taps home plate. The outside corner, McCarville working from the windup. 1-0 pitch. Otsuka rolls over a fastball. Just scampers past the first base coach's box. 1 ball, 1 strike. The count on Otsuka. Otsuka again out of the University of San Diego. Same college as Chris Bryant. Former Firebird Riley Adams, who was a high draft pick back in 2016 by the Toronto Blue Jays. As Otsuka gets a piece of this one and lines it down the right field line for a base hit up against the wall. Otsuka flying around second base. He loses the helmet halfway in between. Throw back in from Kakaska. Trickles into the infield as Murray comes to and picks up the ball around home plate. Or excuse me, the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, and this could get scary quickly. It's just a 1-run game, 7-inning ball game here at Eldridge Park. Would not be surprised if we saw some small ball right here from the Gatemen. They've been shut out so far today, and you just know that Jerry Weinstein's got to find a way to scratch across a run.
Weinstein flashing some signs from the on-deck circle, especially with Ward's speed, as now the corner infielders will come in for the Firebirds. Gillen on the grass on first, Murray over on the grass at third. Next 2 hitters really for this game in lineup have a lot of speed. Otsuka does as well at second base now. Showing bunt is Ward. He pops it up. 1 hop towards Gill. Gill tries to go for the tag. Running on the base path is Ward, and Gill applies the tag. So successful sacrifice bunt for Braden Ward. Moves Otsuka over to third base now with just 1 out. So McCarville has some work to do here if he wants to preserve this Firebirds lead. Needs a strikeout here, or a ground ball in the infield as the Firebirds infield will come in on the grass. First pitch to Darren Baker, right back to the third baseman. Tags the runner at third, throws across the diamond, and they got him! Tanner Murray, heads up play. Tags Otsuka, throws across the diamond to Gill, and the Firebirds are out of the inning.
Wow, this kid continues to make smooth defensive plays. Just tag the guy at third. Scouts are impressed left and right. And it was impressive to see what Tanner Murray has done over at the hot corner.
Unreal by Tanner Murray. It might have to be the Shea and Ray and Murray show. That's how it's gone today here from Eldridge Park. So after 4.5, it's still a 1-0 Firebirds lead. We'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 5th inning from Eldridge Park. It was a double play ball induced by McCarville, but even better play by Tanner Murray at third base. Tags Otsuka, throws across the diamond and gets Darren Baker. So it preserves the Firebirds' 1-0 lead as Palmer's back on the hill for the Gatemen. First pitch to Rob Emmer, the catcher. Gets past the catcher, Del Castillo, the backstop for ball 1.
That's the 4th double play in these 2 games turned by Orleans.
It's unreal. A lot of double plays, a lot of ground balls thrown as well as Palmer will ask for a new baseball. A couple unassisted double plays too. Guys stepping on bases, and as the 1-0 from Palmer, slider catches the inside corner for strike one on the catcher. Emery, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, 1-0 Firebirds lead. Nobody on, nobody out. Emery tries to get things going here as he rolls over a fastball down the third base side. Count moves, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's the not only 4th double play turned by Orleans today, it's the 4th inning-ending double play turned by the Firebirds. Wow.
It's a lot of double play balls as Juan Garena grounded to 2 inning-ending double plays in the first game. As the 1-2 pitch runs off the plate, Canavan's back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Juan Garena actually has grounded to 3. I forgot 1 in this game. So 3 in total inning-ending double plays. As the 2-2 pitch breaking ball cut on and missed by Emery, he goes down on strikes for the 2nd time today. So Juan Garena so far for Wareham has been just a double play magnet, pretty much. As it's Shea Whitcomb, the shortstop, who has provided all the offense so far for the Firebirds. The home run back in the 3rd gave the Firebirds the lead as first pitch fastball at the knees for strike 1. Whitcomb steps out for a second, steps back in. Open stance for the right-hander. As the right-hander Palmer fires a fastball, then misses the outside. Black, count 1 ball and 1 strike. One from Palmer. This one also on the outside edge of the strike zone. The count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Whitcomb. So I mentioned Palmer's windup. It's a little conventional where he really slows down. So he starts from the windup, and then he almost turns sideways, and then he'll go over the top and kick and fire. 1-2 pitch runs off the plate. Cadman's back up at 2-2.
Still think a guy like Tim Lincecum might be a little more out of the box, we could say, turning practically to straightaway center.
Former Harwich Mariner here on the Cape as a 2-2 pitch by Whitcomb. He slices one down the line in right, but foul into the seats. And a guy like Johnny Cueto is too. He literally almost turns his whole body after he kicks up. Where you see some guys we talk about Ben Wall really finishing strong towards home plate and coming off towards the first base mound. As 2-2 pitch to Whitcomb, high chopper towards the third baseman. Stevens backhands a strong throw over the first base across the diamond to Teeter, retires Whitcomb in time.
So Shea Whitcomb is a human being and does get out on occasion in the game of baseball, but this Orleans squad, their pitching has been so dominant that their offense just sprinkles runs with homers, and they're almost on their way to their 5th shutout in their first 6 wins.
That is just unreal. I saw a stat. It's probably from it's probably old stat. I saw that there were 10 shutouts on the Cape, and Orleans pitching was responsible for 3 of them. And I think Wareham about another 2 of them. So first pitch fastball on the inside quarter to Daniels for strike 1.
Yeah, Orleans entered the day first in the Cape with 3 shutouts. Wareham was second with 2.
Yeah. So both squads really been clicking on pitching today, but it's just Orleans has bested Wareham so far. 0-1 fastball misses the outside corner. Daniels works the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Daniels searching for his first hit today. 0 for 2 so far in this game, too. 1-1 pitch to Daniels. Bottom part of the zone. Daniels didn't think so, but it's in there anyway for strike 2.
The other thing that would be significant about this game would be the first 2-game win streak for Orleans of the summer.
A 1-2 pitch from Palmer. Daniels skies one up in the air on the right side of the infield. Second baseman Baker coming in on the edge of the grass. Will camps under it and will make the catch for out number 3. So no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for the Firebirds. After 5, it's a 1-0 lead for the Birds. Before we let you go, we're going to take another look around the Cape League after the Firebirds. Again, they took game 1 1-0. We mentioned Katuitt took game 1 5-2 over Brewster at Lowell Park. Falmouth coming back and defeating the Whitey Red Sox 9-6 in game 1. And then Harwich defeating Hyannis 7-2 at McKean Park. And so far, bottom of the second inning, back in Hyannis. Hyannis searching for their first win of the season. They're 0-8-1. They lead Harwich early in the bottom of the second, 1-0.
Wow.
It's big.
Big news in the Cape.
Also, Katuitt leading Brewster in the bottom of the fifth, 3-2 at Lowell Park. So Brewster, who was red hot after they were leading the Firebirds yesterday 3-0 in the fourth, but game was called and it's not a complete game, so that game does not count. So you wonder if that might have done something to Brewster as they trail 1 run in Katuitt. And in the bottom of the fifth in game 1 of that doubleheader, Chatham leading Bourne 8-2. And then just getting going in Falmouth, it's a scoreless game between the Whitey Red Sox and the Falmouth Commodores. So that's your look around the Cape League and the out-of-town scoreboard. So might see some standings adjustments and movements working on the next couple days or so. That's why doubleheaders are so big in June. You got to at least take a point away, or if not 2 points away. Try to split it as much as you can.
We can give them the active standings after that first game of the doubleheader. Brewster still atop the East, but only by 1 point. The Harwich Mariners now with 12 points, 1 shy of Brewster. Orleans and Chatham tied with 11 and third in the East, and YD in last place in the East Division. Very rarely will you see the Red Sox bringing up the rear in the East. Wareham tied atop the West Division with Katuitt at 11 points. Falmouth in third with 9. Bourne with 6 in fourth. And the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, who went winless through their first 9 games, they went 0-8-1, have a chance to pick up victory number 1. It only took till game 10.
And they've had some, a couple games late where they're down trailing a run or leading by a run. They just haven't been able to hold on.
They've had some bad luck.
That is just bad luck. Bad luck for the Harbor Hawks. That's what it has been for them so far. But a chance today to try to pick up win number 1. I think once they pick up that win, I think all will be okay, and the weather, or the storm will weather. So Nick Garcia is a new pitcher on the hill. He'll replace Dawson McCarville, pitched an inning in a third scoreless. 1 hit, no runs, not earned, no walks, and no strikeouts. So Garcia works against Guangarena, Del Castillo, and Jacob Teeter. 3, 4, 5 hitters due up for the Gateman here on the top of the 6th. First pitch, Big Bender misses inside as Guangarena dances out. Garcia making his 3rd appearance on the summer. Pitched at Bourne and at Wareham, so second time seeing Wareham in his 3 appearances. 1-0 pitch to Guangarena, caught on a miss and foul tip into the mitt of Emery. Kiana's 1 ball and 1 strike on Guangarena. He taps home plate once. Garcia working from the stretch. 1-1 from Garcia. Cut on and missed by Guangarena. Count moves 1-2. Guangarena in this doubleheader so far, 0 for 5. 3 double plays and 2 strikeouts. Searching for his first base hit here in this doubleheader today as the 1-2 pitch. High chopper past the outstretched glove of the pitcher Garcia. Scooped on by Zamora. Throw across is just on the first towards Gill, and Guangarena is retired. So the Firebirds continue to work here, keeping that scoreless streak going. And it's Adrian Del Castillo, the catcher out of Miami. Singled back in the second. He's got one of the 4 hits for the Gateman today. First pitch misses down in the zone for ball 1. Del Castillo struck out his last time up. Back in the 4th, that was when Connor Pellerin was on the hill for the Birds. He struck out the first 2 hitters in that inning. 1-0 pitch, fouled back in the screen behind home plate. Count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. Garcia nods as that gets the sign. Works from the chest. The 1-1 from Garcia. Fastball just a bit too far inside as Del Castillo belges out. Count heads to 2-1. So here in the top of the sixth inning, 1-0 Firebirds lead. It's a Shea Whitcomb home run. That was struck back in the third inning. That's been all the offense generated so far for both squads as the 2-1 pitches. Sky in the air down the left field line again towards foul ground, but Trotty runs out of room down there on the left field side. So count evens back up at 2-2 strikes.
And this is what Del Castillo does, is he just fights back in counts, makes pitchers work deep until he's able to square one up.
Garcia kicks and fires. 2-2 curveball laced over the second baseman head of Zamora into right center field for a base hit right on cue. As Kakaska throws it back in. Del Castillo's aboard with 1 man out here in the sixth.
Like clockwork. That's literally what Adrian Del Castillo does day in and day out during the collegiate season. Just finds ways, draws a lot of pitches, lines things off, waits till he gets his spot, his pitch in his spot, and hits a smooth line drive.
2 for 3 now in this game 2 of the doubleheader. Went 1 for 3, so now combined 3 for 6 in the doubleheader so far today. The game had the time run over at first base. Jacob Teeter now as Garcia will step off the rubber and throw over to first. Teeter has reached base so far both times, reached on an error back in the second, singled and was stranded over at third in the fourth. The game left the bases loaded in the fourth. That was probably their best chance as Garcia will throw back over to first base. Diving back in safely over there is Del Castillo. Teeter's still waiting the first pitch here. Garcia comes set from the stretch. We'll check over once more at first base on Del Castillo. Garcia glances over his shoulder at first base, comes set. Fires towards him. First pitch to Teeter in there on the outside corner for strike 1 as Garcia hits the deck after he throws that strike. He does some mound work now. Some begins to set from Eldridge Park. As Garcia comes set, kicks and fires the 0-1 pitch is got up in the air on the left side of the infield. Third baseman Murray moves into foul ground just for the Wareham bench and will make the catch for the second out. So Teeter is set aside here, marking the second out on the top of the sixth as Del Castillo still over at first base. Ben Sims, the shortstop from Kansas, sports the Jayhawk colored blue and white cleats. As Sims, the left-hander, works from the left side, facing the right-hander Garcia. First pitch from Garcia. This one misses inside for ball 1. Sims so far walked back in the fourth. He was left over at second base again that fourth inning. The gateman had the bases loaded. That was probably their best opportunity so far in this game, but couldn't come to fruition. 1-0 pitch, cut on and missed. Fastball tied up on the hands of Sims as he'll step out of the batter's box. Kelly Nicholson from the first base side urging on his pitcher on the mound, Nick Garcia. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Sims. Garcia deals towards him with a 1-1 chopper. Gets over the head of Garcia. Coming in, Zamora comes around the ball, throws on the run, and in time. Good play there by Zamora. Tough play. Made it look easy, though. So after 5.5, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, but 1 left on base for the Gatemen. Again, after 5.5, it's the Firebirds won the game at nothing. We'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Home half of the 6th inning from Eldridge Park. It's a slim Firebirds lead at 1-0. Again, the Shea Whitcomb home run back in the 3rd has done it all for the Firebirds up to this point. Kokoska, Tanner Murray, and Max Triani, the 3 Firebirds set to do battle. As there is a new pitcher on the mound for the Wareham Gatemen. As Palmer, final line, 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no earned, no walks, and 1 strikeout. We'll lucky to see Jeff Pramel coming into the game, as Kelly Nicholson said he would use him today. He's digging from the left side is Zach Kokoska. Right-hander faces the left-hander bat. Left-handed bat and Kokoska. First pitch fastball runs upstairs for ball 1. Kokoska was hit by a pitch in that first inning. Only time he's reached base today in his first 2 appearances. As the 1-0 pitch slices one off the edge of the barrel and will skip up the first base line. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. So Ben Leeper, the new pitcher on the hill for the Gatemen, making his 2nd appearance on the Cape. Pitched 1 inning so far. Leeper fires the 1-1 pitch as Kokoska lines one foul, but this one over onto Route 28, just behind us. Count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Kokoska. Again, Firebirds holding a slim 1-0 lead over the Gatemen. As the 1-2 pitch runs up and out of the zone on Kokoska. Count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Some interesting theatrics here at Eldridge Park. Sun's starting to come down.
2-2 pitch to Kokoska, fouls it back into the screen, and count remains 2-2. Again, Route 28, a very busy highway, runs right behind us here at Eldridge Park, and it's very dangerous to try to cross this street, but for some kids, they want to try to do so just to get a baseball. 2-2 pitch to Kokoska. He rolls it over, fouls it off himself at the box. Kokoska takes a walk around. as Leaper heads back to the hill. Leaper so far, 1 game, 1 inning. Faced 4 batters. Hit 1 batter with a hit by pitch. 2-2 pitch to Koska. Skies one once more down the left side. Heading into foul ground is going to be Stevens. Looks like it'll be a foul ball.
Steve Guerin with some comedy here, the Orleans Firebirds treasurer and PA announcer, saying that life is a little more valuable than a $5 baseball. And Steve, I would agree. I'm sure he's going to hear this later and thank me later for it.
The 2-2 to Kokoska. Fouls it once more at the box. Take a little bit of beating up there is Zach Kokoska. It'll be pitch number 7 upcoming in this AB. The 2-2 once more. Kokoska check swing in there anyway for strike 3. Kokoska held up. He battles, but unfortunately cannot last. Although Kokoska, you have to say, that was a pretty good battle up there, battling for 7 pitches, fouling off some tough pitches. But Leaper wins the battle there. So 1 out here in the the bottom of the 6th inning, 1-0 Firebirds lead. As Tanner Murray from the right side. Mitch misses down in the zone for ball 1. Murray made a nice defensive play back in the 5th inning. With 1 down the inning, the tying run on third base, and Otsuka, as the 1-0 pitch misses low and outside, count 2-0. So Otsuka over at third base, and then a ground ball from Darren Baker comes right to Murray. He tags Otsuka, who takes too much of a secondary, then throws across the diamond to retire Darren Baker for an inning-ending double play. Probably the biggest game so far, biggest play so far in this game. 2-0 fastball runs up and inside, and count heads to 3-0. 3-0 pitch from Leaper. This one catches the inside corner on Murray, backed off the plate. Count runs to 3 balls and 1 strike. Murray so far back in the first, grounded to fielder's choice. Struck out in the 3rd, looking for his first base hit here. 3-1 pitch misses upstairs, and he'll toss the barrel over on the first base side. The Firebirds have a base runner on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. It's all you need sometimes, find a way to get on base, and good stuff will happen. Here is Max Troiani, 1 for 2 so far. As Leaper will throw over to check on Tanner Murray. Leaper kicks and fires. Pitch at the bottom part of the zone in there for strike 1. So Troiani continues to see that average rise here. Maybe trying to get another hit here as 0-1 pitch fouls off. Looks like the catcher or the umpire. Anyway, it's in there for strike 2, 0-2. So Murray sitting over at first base here, the bottom of the 6th inning, 1 out. Firebirds clinging to a 1-0 lead. Troiani waves his bat back towards the pitcher Leaper. Leaper comes set, kicks and fires. The 1-1 pitch. Troiani lines it through the hole on the left side and through into left field for a base hit. Zuka throws it, fields it and throws it back in. But Max Troiani continues to do the heavy lifting for this Firebirds offense. Connects with a single here after the walk by Murray.
You've got to be kidding me. This kid just hits the baseball about as good as anyone. Just line drives, ground balls in the right spots. And again, has another single. Not a double, not a triple, not a home run. Another single.
It's unreal. He really can't put it into words. As he now has 2 of the 4 base hits for the Firebirds as Josh Zamora, the second baseman, stands in from the right side. Fibers try to tack on a few insurance runs here. First pitch is Zamora, lands it right back up the middle, one hop by the shortstop, flip on the second of Baker, throws across over to first base, and Zamora grounds into an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. So after 6, it's the Firebirds 1, and the Gatemen nothing. Last ups for the Gatemen here in the top of the 7th. Jeff Pramel will come in, the closer for the Firebirds. We'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Top half of the 7th inning from Eldridge Park as the Firebirds look to close out Game 2 of this doubleheader and try to sweep today's doubleheader. They hold on to a 1-0 lead, and Jeff Pramel, the closer out of Selma, New Hampshire, is on for the Firebirds, making his 4th appearance of the summer. Has 2 saves, 3 innings, 3 punch-outs. Added to his ledger. Last pitch back in Hyannis in that 4-0 win. Before that, back in Brewster and pitched on the home opener against Bourne. So off to face Chad Stevens, Matt Rudick, and Toritsuka. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Gatemen, as the Firebirds look to win both games 1-0. So it's been a pitcher's duel for both sides. The Firebirds so far 4-1-1 against the West. And look to head over 500. 2 games over 500 if they can close this one out. First pitch to Chad Stevens, shows bunt, pulls it back, misses for ball 1. Pramel works from the windup, 6'5", 180. 1-0 pitch outside corner for a strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike on Chad Stevens. Stevens grounded out and walked back in the 4th. Pramel works the 1-1. Curveball high in the air towards straightaway center. Daniels moving in to his left into right center now. Daniels tracks it all the way down, almost into right field, and makes the catch for the first out. So a long run for Daniels, almost into Kokoska's territory in right field, as the wind is swirling out there in center. So 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Matt Rudick, the right fielder, looks to reach base for the first time today and try to get this rally going for the Gatemen. He's grounded out twice. Pramel comes set from the belt. Kicks and fires towards home. Off-speed pitch. Just getting a piece of it as Rudick fouls it back for strike 1. So again, a 1-0 Fibers lead here in the top of the 7th. Nobody on, 1 out. Again, the Shea Whitcomb home run. It's done it all for the Firebirds in this game. Rago walked things off with a home run in Game 1. As the 0-1 pitch to Rudick misses upstairs for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. 1 back to Rudick. Once again misses high. Count 2-1. Again, this bottom part of the order does have some speed, and if Wareham can get some guys on, if they can get Rudick on, might play some small ball here, although I would give it 2 outs. But as Rudick slaps from the other way into left field for a base hit, it drops in front of the left fielder Triani, and Rudick is aboard with 1 out. So the game is showing some signs of life here in this top of the 7th. As it's Toro Otsuka, left fielder from San Diego. He doubled back in the 5th inning, but was doubled up at third base to end the inning after the heads-up play by Tanner Murray. So Pramel from the stretch comes set. We'll throw over towards first base to check on Rudick, but he's back in safely, diving head first.
Thomas, if I'm not mistaken, it's the 4th appearance of the summer for Jeff Pramel. In each of his appearances so far, he's allowed 1 base runner, and then his lights out after that.
That's what I can remember from my memory, as well. Seems like allows an early single or walk, or he'll get the first out or so. But you're exactly right. He can be lights out after that. As the first pitch hits off the umpire and keeps the ball here. Count 1 ball and no strikes. So it saves the Firebirds here because Rudick would have been off towards second base if that ball went to the backstop. So it really helps the Firebirds here. The count is 1 ball and no strikes on Otsuka. Doesn't look like it hurt the home plate umpire, Rich Catani. So 1 ball, no strikes the count on Otsuka. Firebirds lead 1-0 over the Gatemen. Pramel kicks and fires towards him as the 1-0 pitch comes inside and hits Otsuka. So now the Gatemen have 2 men on with 1 out. But more importantly, the tying run over at second and the go-ahead run over at first now. And the top of the order comes back around to Braden Ward, the center fielder.
And we've seen Orleans already today get some double plays. All 4 of them that they have turned have been inning-ending. How about a game-ending double play right here?
This is where we want Juan Guarina to come up. He's got 3 of them today. So it's Braden Ward, leadoff hitter from Washington. Sacrifice bunt his last time out to try to move Otsuka over. First pitch he sees, hits with a flare out towards center field, and it's right in at the center fielder. Daniels running off towards third base was Rudick. And throw back in to the second baseman, Zamora, and that's how the game ends. You're exactly right, just not the type of double play we were thinking of. But the Firebirds close out a doubleheader sweep here at Eldridge Park. They beat the Wareham Gatemen by a final score of 1-0. The first game, a Rago walk-off home run. And here in game 2, it's a Shea Whitcomb solo blast in the 3rd inning that provides all the offense that the Firebirds needed. Again, Firebirds 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors. For the Gatemen, no runs, 6 hits, and no errors. And Josh, we saw the Firebirds take a step once again in the pitching direction, but we saw some hard hit balls from the Firebirds as well. They just didn't, touch the outfield grass or get down for base hits.
No, Max Triani is a literal machine, just roping singles left and right. Ray Gill put together a good day at the dish, and this Orleans team has done some really nice things. Defensively, they were great. On the mound, obviously, was the story. And, hey, we avoided the rain, and the Birds picked up 2 wins, their first 2-game win streak of the summer.
Again, no rain, and that is the most important part of it all. Again, we've had a couple of rain outs. There have been some fog outs on the Cape, and we're just looking for some Cape League baseball here where we can just have perfect weather. But, again, it's the Firebirds doing it all. Mostly with the arms, though, today, as you take a run through so far. The final lines for the Firebirds pitching. 3 innings for Noah Skirrell to start things off. 2 hits, no runs, no earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Connor Pellerin coming in 2/3 scoreless. before handing it off to McCarville, Garcia, and then Pramel to close things out, all pitching scoreless innings. So the Firebirds is finding a way to get it done. As we're going to start the Birds post-game show here at Eldridge Park. As Scotty Gange will set things up in studio for himself over there on the on-deck circle of the first base side. Shea Whitcomb will be joining us coming up in a few minutes here on the Birds post-game view. As we'll take a look around the Cape League itself, give you some score updates about what has been going on around the Cape. Back in Hyannis, they now lead Harwich in the bottom of the third, a score of 5-1. So Hyannis trying to get back in the win, or trying to get their first win of the season, as Katua leads Brewster 6-2 in the top of the seventh. Trying to close things out there. The Anglers defeated the Bourne Braves 8-2 in that game one, and in Falmouth, YD leads the Commodores 3-0 after
We'll send it to him.
top of the third inning. And now our sideline reporter Scotty Gange is with the starting pitcher for today's game, and Noah Scuro. Scotty, take it away.
Yeah, of course, here with the Birds baller of the game, Mr. Noah Scuro, with 2 starts in a row, 2 fantastic outings tonight, 3 innings pitched, no earned runs. What was working so well for you on the mound tonight?
Fastball command was really good. I had my slider today, which was nice, and mixing in some change-ups, keeping them off balance.
I want to take you back to your final out. There was 2 outs. Darren Baker, one of the fastest guys in the Cape, was on third base, or the leadoff guy was on third base. Darren Baker, one of the best hitters in the Cape, was at the plate. You could have easily pitched around him, tried to locate. There was an open bag, but you went right to him and got 3 strikes for a strikeout. Is that how you approach the game in terms of aggressiveness?
Yeah, I mean, I just think if my stuff's on, I have a chance against anybody, and as long as I'm in the zone, then I'm competitive and just go right after them.
You let out a loud grunt on that final fastball that you threw him by. Was that you mustered up all your strength on that one?
Yeah, I was trying to run it by him, just trying to get it in there and run it by him. So.
Well, it worked out, and this time, last Sunday when you played against Bourne, it was a 2-1 loss, and here you get a 1-0 win. Is it nice to be on this end of the game?
Absolutely, yeah. Hate losing, but be on the winning side is great.
Pitching 3 innings, watching 4 more with different relieving pitchers come in and save the day, really, and close things out for you. How much confidence does that give you in this team?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, you know that you can come out of the game, and if you got a lead, it's going to stay there. And if you're losing, I mean, just let the offense work because they're not going to score too many more.
Your command was working. Do you find that after you pitch in a game, you're a little more invested in it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, when you've played in the game, you're in it more because you've been a part of it, whereas you're just on the bench, you're just kind of hanging out, just watching.
You'll get that opportunity to hang out, kind of relax. You get a big off day. Everybody does tomorrow. What's in store for you in the next 5 or 6 days as you're not going to be on the bump?
Get my lifts in, get some dry work in, some throwing in, and hopefully get on the golf course a little bit.
All right, I love that. No, I went on the Wareham broadcast, and I talked about the heck of a mane of a beard you have today, and they were blown away by it. So fantastic job there. Fantastic job today. Thanks so much for the time. The Birds baller of the game, Mr. Noah Scuro. Appreciate it, man. Great job today. Thomas, I'm going to send it back to you. We're going to get the Birds Eye View post-game show rolling here in just a few short moments.
And thank you, Scott. Again, that was our sign reporter, Scotty Gange, alongside our Bird baller of the game, and Noah Scuro. Now I'm joined alongside the man of the hour so far here on the whole offense for the Firebirds, Shea Whitcomb. Now, Shea, you were coming into this game, you're 1 for 13, and you hit that home run. How does it feel to finally get on the board here?
I mean, it feels good. I mean, yeah, I was off to a slow start, but it was good confidence booster for me. So that was a key at bat.
It was a key at bat, not only for you, but also for the Firebirds in the game. They hold on to win that game by a score of 1-0. But going back to the defensive side of things, the Firebirds so far, I mean, they've been looking pretty sharp out there on the defensive side. Tanner Murray making some nice plays. How does it energize maybe you guys, maybe you yourself and the team, seeing plays like that being made?
Yeah, I mean, great plays always energize our players, and especially good plays in key situations. I mean, that's what gets it going.
Well, it's fun for us to watch here in the booth as well, seeing plays like that. A couple web gems out there we've seen throughout the season. Going back to the first game, Ray Gill hitting that walk-off home run. What was the mood really in the dugout maybe for you guys going into game 2?
I mean, it was definitely up. I mean, that hit was huge. I mean, he's been kind of struggling too, so that at bat was big, and it definitely gave us a lot of confidence going into game 2. And props to Noah for throwing really good.
Yeah, the starting pitching and just the pitching in general has been really fun to watch, and it's been really sharp on the mound. for the Firebirds. Now, you're a guy that's coming from a D2 school. Now you're here on the Cape. What's the transition like coming from all the way out in California?
I mean, it's a little different. It's not too much of a change, but definitely the scenery and the players and maybe pitching a little bit, but it's definitely nothing too dramatic, too drastic.
So you're coming up on an off day tomorrow. I know you're a big fishing and surfing guy. What's on the schedule for tomorrow?
I mean, if there was waves, I'd probably be out there surfing, but I'm not in San Diego. But definitely hit the gym and maybe hang out with some guys. We got little poker nights going, so.
Well, watch out. Shea Whitcomb might run the table there. So, again, that will conclude our interview here with Shea Whitcomb. Shea, thank you very much for joining me, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Again, that was Shea Whitcomb. He provided the solo home run for the Firebirds here in this game. And Firebirds hold on to win 1-0 as we're going to send it back down to our side reporter, Scotty Gaines. Scotty?
Yeah, fantastic outings from really everybody on the mound today for the Orleans Firebirds. Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Bird's Eye View post-game show. We just heard from our guy Shea Whitcomb, who hit the home run with our broadcaster Thomas Cinzarella. Sat down with Noah Skiro, the starter for Game 2. We want to break down what's coming next for the Firebirds. Tomorrow it's an off day, and a well-deserved off day. 2 straight wins, the first time all season they've done that. So it's their first winning streak. The Birds fans are officially hot. The Birds are hot. It's fantastic. A day off tomorrow. Everybody gets to relax, cool down after these 2 games today. And then on Tuesday, we're going to be right here for one of the biggest early games of the season. The Chatham Anglers and the Orleans Firebirds. That's going to be here at Eldridge Park at 7 p.m. Chatham is highlighted by their superstar first baseman Spencer Torkelson. He was activated yesterday, and he is one of the best players in college baseball coming out of Arizona State. As a freshman, he hit 27 home runs at Arizona State, which led the country. He left nothing really up to desire this season, as he was again a unanimous All-American at Arizona State in his sophomore campaign, and in his second year now for the Chatham Anglers. He's going to be the player to watch on the offensive side, and there's lots of players to watch on the pitching side, as Chatham pitching has been outstanding, but not as good as the Orleans Firebirds. That is in numbers at least. 14 innings played today. Big ol' 0 runs allowed. 1-0 game in both of them. Of course, the Ray Gill home run in Game 1 and the Shea Whitcomb home run in Game 2. Ray and Shea, they stole the day. Guys, Thomas, I'm going to send it back to you. We're going to bring on some guys. Josh White, broadcaster, he's about to come in. Going to try to grab a coach in here as well for the Bird's Eye View post-game show. Going to take a quick break. Have a whole lot of baseball to talk about today.
And thank you, Scotty. Again, that was Scotty Gaines over there in studio on the first base side. You know, again, he's going back to the Orleans pitching, and they've just been phenomenal this year. Now working on 18 2/3 scoreless innings. That is just unheard of. Obviously, you're coming across a couple games as well, and here on the Cape, you don't have stars that go 7 innings, so it's not like a team can, can get shut out by maybe a star ace here on the Cape. You're facing a plethora of pitchers, especially here in today's 2 games. I mean, Kelly went through 5 pitchers in the first game, and then here in Game 2 went to another 5. So there's 5 pitchers on the mound, and the Firebirds pitching has just been flat out outstanding here over the last couple games or so. As Scotty also mentioned, the Firebirds will hit the road as they'll head to Chatham on Tuesday to face the Anglers. Of course, Veterans Field newly renovated. Of course, Orleans here at Eldridge, too, had a couple additions. As the Firebirds head to Chatham on Tuesday after the off day tomorrow. Then Wednesday, head to Cotuit before coming back on Friday after an off day on Thursday to face the Cotuit Kettleers. So a little bit of a home-and-home series going on with Cotuit before they'll face Harwich at Harwich on Saturday and home against Harwich on Sunday. So as our silent reporter, Scotty Gaines, will settle in down there in studio. Scotty, we'll send it back over to you. What you got?
Yeah, we are lucky to have the bullpen catcher in here today. Lane, thanks so much for joining in. And we talked about it, 14 innings, no runs allowed. And I know you had a different perspective because for a lot of these relieving guys, you caught them while they were warming up in the bullpen. What was different today in your eyes?
Yeah, so, I got to go through all these guys today. They all looked really good. The only thing I would say the big difference is you get really tired out here. You have 2 doubleheader games. These guys they do a lot of sitting around. Mm-hmm. So it's really important that they get ready and they're always on top of the game because it could be a pitch, an inning, and Skip can go out there and say, we need you right now. So they always got to be ready. They all did really, really good today.
I
Yeah.
know a lot of that responsibility of keeping that ready is kind of in your hands and trying to just keep them warm and at least get them warm quickly.
Yep.
What was your job in that today, and how was it different in the fact that there was 2 ball games and every pitcher seemed to be on?
Yeah, every pitcher seemed to be on today. Honestly, it's all the bullpen. They all do a great job just, staying focused, getting ready. Everybody, it was a staff game, so a lot of guys, followed through and did what they had to do to get ready today. Yeah. So
The fun thing for today was the fact that there's been so many rainouts, fog outs. Everybody was warm. I know you were warm. You've been probably hanging out for a lot this week, just like everybody on the team has. In terms of approach and you coming in, knowing that every single pitcher is able to pitch, did that change your mindset walking into the field today?
yeah, you cannot have your changed mindset. The rain delays definitely will mess with you a little bit because you never know. Honestly, you could be playing, you could be not. So, but just like me, a lot of these guys here, they're always ready to play. Yeah.
Lane's got a fantastic story. Later next week, we're going to do a whole breakdown. He's going to be catching BP, and I'm going to be talking. So he's going to be doing the work, and I'm just going to be talking back and forth with him once we get all the right gear and once we're ready to go. Sound good?
Yeah, everything sounds great. Yeah, thank you so much.
Can't wait for it, Lane. Thanks so much for
Yeah,
joining in on the Bird's Eye View postgame show. Thomas, we got a whole lot of baseball again to talk about today. I'm going to send it back to you, and we're going to continue this show here.
And thank you, Scotty. It's a brilliant interview, bringing some insight from the bullpen area. We don't get to hear that very often. Again, that's our sign reporter, Scotty Gaines, here on the Bird's Eye View postgame. As Scotty mentioned, Chatham, we were talking about Chatham, where the Firebirds will face off against them on Tuesday. Spencer Torkelson just hitting his first home run of the season. It's pretty ironic as well that he led the league, all of the NCAA in home runs his freshman season, plays for the Chatham Anglers. And then last year, J.J. Blade, who plays for Vanderbilt, still in the College World Series, trying to win a national championship, played for Orleans last year, and he took his turn leading the NCAA in the country in home runs. So Orleans and Chatham having a rivalry going back to many years just because of how close each town are from each other. And, of course, it seems like anytime Chatham does something to their field, Orleans does it here, just like this past offseason, as our star reporter Scotty Gaines is searching for one more person here on the Bird's Eye View postgame. Again, just a quick recap. Firebirds sweep the doubleheader here at home against Wareham. Firebirds now move to 6-4-1 on the season. They move to 3-2 at home. They're continue their streak at 3-2-1 on the road, 1-3 against the East, but they're a dominant 5-1-1 against the West, and that tie also came against Wareham. So we could have seen the Firebirds 6-1 against the West, which is just unreal to think about how the Firebirds have just controlled and dominated the West so far. But they're gonna have to win some games against the East, heading down into the stretch. But still plenty of baseball to be played here on Cape Cod. Again, the Firebirds 1-0 win over the Wareham Gatemen. Again, the Shea Whitcomb home run delivered all the offense that was needed for the Firebirds. Game took an hour and 42 minutes. As the winning pitcher will be Dawson McCarville. Losing pitcher Bryce Eller. He started the game for the Gatemen. As Jeff Primmel will get his third save of the season. And what was, again, another brilliant pitching performance for the Firebirds, as our sign reporter Scotty Gaines is back on the first base side. Scotty, back over to you.
Thanks, Thomas. Let's recap to the first game, and here's Jared Schuster, the star of the first game. 3 innings pitched, no earned runs. It seems kind of like a review or replay of last week, Jared.
Yeah, I was just trying to stay with the strong start and build off that, and then towards next week do the same thing.
So it's fun for me. I told you as we're walking over here. This is the full circle interview because I talked to you before the game. We were going through some of your rituals, what you were looking for, and it seems like everything you said you were going to try to do today, you did. In terms of accomplishment, how do you feel about yourself right now?
I mean, I feel really good. They had a lot of lefties in our lineup, so I try to work with my slider more than my changeup, and worked well.
Yeah, I noticed you were working a lot with the slider and the changeup too. Those are both plus pitches. In my eyes, they are. And it seems like there was lots of swings and misses and really no problems on the base pass. When you're rolling so well through these innings, how do you really maintain that focus and composure up on the bump?
Breathing helps a lot with that. So if you make a bad pitch, you just reset, and breathing and taking some time off. And David came up to me when I was on the mound and helped me reset also. So it always helps.
I talked to Noah Skiro just a few moments ago, and I said, just like him, you've got 5 or 6 days to relax and to get some rehab in and some working out. In terms of the next 3 or 4, what are you going to do to kind of break down this game and look forward to move on to the other? Is it a mindset thing? You're going to be working out the arm a little more? What's your routine?
So tomorrow I'll get a good lift in, get a couple more through the week, and then show a couple bullpens, try to build off what happened today, and work on what I need to work on with Troop.
We got another game next Sunday, and you're probably slated to pitch then, just because that's the way it's been working out. Are we going to shave next Sunday?
For sure, definitely.
All right. That sounds fantastic. It seems like it's working for you. Yeah. Jared Schuster, he was the star of Game 1. Thanks so much for joining in. We'll let you go. It's dinner time, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty hungry now.
All right, go. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate your time. Thomas, we're going to send it back to you. We got one more segment here on the Bird's Eye View postgame show.
I think we have a new thing. It's called Schuster Shave Sunday or something like that. As Jared Schuster was the man who started Game 1, threw a gem for the Firebirds once again. He started both games now for the doubleheaders in Game 1, pitched last Sunday in Bourne. Now this Sunday, today, against Wareham at home, went 3 strong on these 3 hits, no runs, no earned, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. And if he is, of course, Kelly develops a rotation here in Orleans. If he does pitch next Sunday, it would be home against Harwich. So that'll be good to see Jared Schuster back at home. And, of course, he's pitched now. If he does pitch next Sunday, it'll be 2 of his first 3 starts at home, which isn't too bad for especially an Orleans Firebirds pitcher here on Cape Cod. A pitch in front of your home fans, maybe a little bit easier than a pitch on the road. I know talking with some of the pitchers, some of the ballpark's mounds maybe aren't as well kept up or just a little more awkward than some others. So, of course, Wareham has the gravel out in the infield. But here at Eldridge, probably one of the finer kept ballparks across all of Cape Cod. And so our sign reporter Scotty Gage continues to search for another interview out here as he's out one around Eldridge Park. So again, the losing pitcher today, Bryce Elder, for the Gaiman, but really the Gaiman, I think, they're a team that looked pretty solid from the pitching standpoint. I mean, they really kept the Firebirds' bats at bay. It's just the 2 long balls that ended up winning the game for the Firebirds. The walk-off home run by Ray Gill, in Game 1, and then Shea Whitcomb here in Game 2. As the Gatemen fall to 5-5-1 on the season, they're coming in. They were holding their heads high at first place, and if Katuitt can sweep this doubleheader today, they will overtake Wareham into first place of the West standings. And Orleans, again, they turn to 6-4-1. So we'll have to see how the standings will shake out there here in the East, as we're going to send it back over to sign reporter Scotty Gage to continue the post-game show.
Thomas, I appreciate you, man. Oh, hello. You're all good, buddy. Going to close out the Bird's Eye View post-game show here. Thomas, I appreciate you kind of filling us in what happened today, what's about to happen. It was a great day of baseball for the Orleans Firebirds. If you've been watching with us for the past several hours, you know that. But if you haven't, let's break down really what happened today. 14 innings of no-run baseball. A 1-0 win in Game 1, highlighted by the Ray Gill walk-off homer, and a 1-0 win in Game 2, highlighted by the Shea Whitcomb third-inning home run. The team was just absolutely outstanding. Everybody on all levels in terms of the pitching staff was outstanding, and it was very fun to watch. On the outside and also on the inside, I've been kind of talking with some of the guys, and they're just like, wow, 14 innings? I had no idea we played 14 innings of no-run allowed baseball, 4 2/3 before that. So the streak for the Orleans Firebirds is 18 2/3 innings pitched without allowing a run. This team is doing absolutely fantastic on the bump in terms of starting, relieving, and everything in between. The fielding was fantastic as well. Tanner Murray made a highlight play in the 5th inning at third base, made the double play, and we've got athletes out there, and it's really fun to watch on our end. And it's just been fun to watch for the fans today as well. You'd think 2 runs in 14 innings wouldn't really be much of a fan experience, but it really was. Walking around the field, everybody was smiling, enjoying their day, and talking to some of the fans. They said this was a great day for baseball, not just because of the amazing weather, but because of the amazing gameplay really on both sides. You have to tip your cap to the Wareham Gatemen. Their pitching staff did great too. 2 pitches really defined 2 games today, and 4 points for the Orleans Firebirds, and I cannot go more of how important that was for the Firebirds. Tuesday night again, Chatham here. It's a rivalry game. It's an Eastern League matchup, and it's just going to be fantastic. I can't wait. We're going to wrap up the Bird's Eye View show right here. Scotty Gage here. We appreciate the bullpen catcher Lane coming in. We appreciate everybody earlier in the game, Noah Skiro, Jared Schuster, and Coach Brendan Igabrot coming in the bird's eye view pregame, postgame show in between the two games today. But for me and for everybody, for our producer, Bryce Johnson, Thomas, Josh, Thomas, I know you're going to want to close the show out with a few more notes. But for everybody here in studio, we appreciate you all. We'll see you on Tuesday for our pregame show. That's going to start at 6:40 p.m. right here on our YouTube live channel.
And thank you, Scotty, again. Good job closing it out there here in Orleans again. To summarize pretty much what he said it pretty well as well. The Firebirds, they take games 1 and 2 here in this doubleheader by a score of 1-0. Both games, so they sweep the Wareham game in here on Sunday. Again, an off day tomorrow before heading back here to Eldridge on Tuesday to face the Chatham Anglers, who are fighting it out currently right now in a doubleheader themselves. Again, the home runs from Gill and Whitcomb summed it all up. The Shane ratio, as we like to call it around here, did it all, but the outstanding pitching for the Firebirds as well to see what that will carry on into next week. So hopefully all the Firebirds players and us ourselves as well will rest up tomorrow on and off day again until Tuesday. The Firebirds will take on the Chatham Anglers. From our sideline reporter, Scotty Gage, our producer, Bryce Johnson, my broadcast partner, Josh White. I'm Thomas Inzarello saying so long from Eldridge Park. We'll see you right back here